I don't think I have to say it. Today is a great day to be a Pokemon anime fan, or just a Pokemon fan in general, because we get a lot of news coming this way, and I'm here to discuss it. Hello everybody, Tyrone the God 3 here, and welcome to a discussion video I'm deciding to do with you guys, because the information just came out. It's literally hot, fresh off the presses, and oh my god, wow, freaking wow, like so much, and I love how it happened shortly after I uploaded my episode review. So now I'm gonna have to work to record this. Me and Raichu are just sitting here. We're so excited about all this new information that just dropped on us like this. I was actually expecting this information to come out like later on. I think they made the announcement that they were going to reveal some stuff. I think that's more video game stuff on the 15th, but I think this is going to lead into that because everything's leading up to it now, and I think fans are finally getting what we expected, but in anime form, it's big. Like this is big. This is big. Way bigger than I expected. Let's get right on to it. As you can see on the poster that you're looking at right now, hot off the CoroCoro scans, we're getting a series called Pokemon X, Y, and Z. I'm not really sure about the title of that. I think I might just call it, like, for the reviews, I'm just gonna call it X and Y reviews like I've been doing to continue off the numbers, or I may just add the Z for shits and giggles. Or you call it Pokemon Exceeds or something, I don't know, or I may just call it Pokemon Z because the Z is the main focus here. And what they're doing is basically everything that we thought they would do, but we didn't think that the anime would come to this way of coming at it. There's a couple of things to talk about here, and I'm going to talk about them one by one. From what we see, since the Z is the main focus, all of the anime series from here on out is focusing on the Z. A similar fashion was done during Pokemon Best Wishes when N showed up to the picture, where it was called Pokemon Best Wishes Episode N. So now we're dealing with Pokemon X, Y, and then Z. So, this isn't too far off from disbelief, but I love how all the crisis and everything that's coming up till then is being tackled in one series, whereas then the Best Wishes we've received beforehand was just dealing with Mega Evolution stuff, basic Kalos region stuff, and now we're finally moving into some new stuff. So, I'm going to tackle all the information one by one, like I said. There's obvious information that I want to save for later, but I still will be talking about it in this whole, this is basically going to be one 30-minute giant block of me just talking. And the reason I'm doing this here now and by myself is because I unfortunately won't be around tomorrow until later tomorrow night. As I'm uploading this, it will be the day of, but I won't be available till late tonight. I don't know if KG, Dean, and the others will do a discussion beforehand or afterhand, but if they do one during today, later on today, I won't be able to be with them until late at night if they do the discussion late at night. So because I won't be able to do it until later, it wouldn't be, I'm going to go ahead and put all my thoughts out here now. And plus, I want to be the first one to do it. Well, it's not really a competition. It's just I just got the information and I still am awake, so I might as well say it because it's really late when they posted it. So, a couple of things. I'm going to avoid the giant obvious thing first. The giant the Z-lettered elephant on the poster as of right now, because I want to save that for the second half of the discussion. But I'll go ahead and show you what we see right now. What we see, obviously, if you don't know in the back, from what we've received of this CoroCoro scans, everything is going down in Anastar City. So when Mega Evolution Act 4 happens, that's when shit finally gets real for everybody. And that's why Mega Evolution Act 4 is the last thing on the Cerebi list. So this is when things finally start getting real. As we see the Anastar stuff in the back. So they're gonna save Ash getting his 8th badge for a while, I believe. And I'm actually pretty glad that they're doing that, so that we can tackle the whole Team Flare stuff now. We see Lysandre's in the back. So since Lysandre's in the back, Lysander, sorry, however you want to pronounce him. Since you see Lysander in the back, obviously there's going to be Team Flare related stuff that's going to go down. We don't see any of the other Team Flare members except for this one image that I'm going to show when I talk about the other stuff. But as we see, this is all in Anastar City. If you look in the back near the Anastar City Tower, you can also see see Noivern. So that confirms that Noibat's going to evolve into Noivern at some point, which is really good. We talked about it before. I know a lot of us have had a conversation about it already. It showed up on the calendar. As of right now, for my thoughts on that, I really wish that Noibat had got more development before, evolving straight into Noivern. Hopefully, it's going to take a while for Noibat to evolve into Noivern. But as we see right now, freaking Ash's team, Noivern, freaking Hawlucha, Pikachu, Talonflame's back there. Yeah, you can see Talonflame in the back. There's not one Pokemon I think that's missing in this entire picture. Everybody's here. We've got Chespin, Bunnelby, Luxio. I was right, Luxray. Pancham, Serena's Eevee, she's gonna get soon. Breakshin, Dedenne. Yeah, everybody's here. So I know what you're thinking, Tyrone, you're avoiding the obvious Pokemon right now. Here's where we get this. Now, people didn't get what they wanted, which was Ash's Charizard, but it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing for me. One, it's bad because we don't get to see Charizard Y in action for real, but that means that Talonflame doesn't get the boot. But we did discuss this before. Charizard could have been a temporary return, just so that Ash could have Mega Charizard Y while Alain has Charizard X, and it all comes full circle. So, time for the obvious Pokemon to point out. Greninja. So now we have confirmed one of two things. We have confirmed two things out of this picture. One, Ash is going to have Greninja on his team, which means that Frogadier is confirmed to evolve probably around the Olympia battle, which makes sense. So, our predictions on that more or less came true. The second thing we got confirmed is that for some reason it has a different form. I say different form and not mega form because I'm confused on several different levels. One, this doesn't really look like a mega evolution to me. I mean, it does and it doesn't. But they don't confirm that it's a Mega Evolution. Even if you look on Cerebi, it doesn't say Mega Evolution. It just says that, and I'm going to read it right now, it says that... Where did it go? For some reason, it just says that Greninja reveals a new look for Greninja. The magazine mentions that it looks sort of like Ash's clothes. So, I'm not sure why they brought that up like that, why it looks like Ash's clothes. I hope to God it doesn't mean that Pokemon Fusion is a thing, because no. From what we see here, it does look like Ash's clothes. Like the thing on his, and then the little tufts around kind of look like hair, like Ash's hair. I really hope this isn't like Pokemon Fusion, kind of like the Digimon had the ability to fuse with people in that series. I really hope it's not that. I hope it's like the Pokemon takes the trainer into account and they do some form of a mental image. I don't know. I hope it's not Fusion though. I really hope it's not that. I don't know. That just doesn't sit right with me. If it is, then that's a route to take. Anyway, so Greninja's confirmed to have a new form. One thing I'm really confused about, though, why Greninja And why not Delphox and Chestnut to accompany it as well? But then again, we haven't received any real video game scans either, so we don't know. It's just weird that, yeah, now that you stop to look at it, it does look a lot like Ash's attire. So, it's looking sort of risque here. But other than that, it does still look cool. And it's a nice combatant for our alternative for Ash if he's not going to Mega Evolve, I guess. But other than that, what else do we see? We see everybody here, like I said, we see Sceptiles in the back. So I can confirm one of two things. Either Ash is going to get his Sceptile back, which we've all doubted at this point because of the second reason. This is Show's Sceptile. Oh, not Show. This is Sawyer's Sceptile. Or Shooty. This is his, well, not Shooty, sorry, Shota. This is Shota's Sceptile. I can't even talk today. This is Shota's Sceptile, and it's in the back, fighting off, or helping Ash or something fight against Team Flare. So with that said, we are confirmed to get a lot of things out of this. I don't see Malin anywhere on this poster, which confuses me, but I do see Alain and his Mega Charizard X, which means that Ash and Alain will join forces at some point. Now, this just goes to bring the question, what does this all mean? What's all going to go down? Well, a couple of things. We can confirm that our heroes are going to meet up with Alain at some point. And pay attention to Bonnie because Bonnie is holding Zygarde. And I know what you're thinking, what? You just called it Zygarde. Yes. This blob thing is confirmed to be Zygarde. I guess we can start to talk about Zygarde now. On this picture, I'll get more into detail about Zygarde during the second half, but since it's on the poster, we might as well mention it. On the picture, we see that Bonnie is holding Zygarde in its cell form, from what we see. I still like calling it Bob the Blobber, but right now, Bonnie is holding Zygarde in cell form, which is like 1% of Zygarde's power. And because of that, we also see that Malin had come into contact with Zygarde in cell form when she interacted with Zygarde in cell form in the Mega Evolution Act 4 trailer, which means that Zygarde in cell form brings our heroes from the Mega Evolution Act together with our heroes from the X and Y anime together. So that's more or less how they're going to join forces, is because of Zygarde cell form. And like I said, with this CoroCoro picture, we get several images that show that our heroes, as well as Alain from Mega Evolution Act 4, are going to meet up, and they're finally going to get together. Now, like I said, the Greninja is the thing that raises the most questions here, because the more I look at it, the more shocking it is that it does look like Ash. Like the color scheme and everything. I'm really hoping that Greninja is like Ash's spirit or his aura has fused with Greninja and not his physical body. That way he can still command it in battle. Because Pokemon's going to take a weird route if it goes this way. And I don't know how I can handle it if we start relying on fusion. I don't know. It's something I'm very unsure of. So I really hope it doesn't come down to that. I really hope it's just odd coincidence or something, or just some new form of Mega Evolution or something that involves the trainer's physical appearance fusing with the Pokemon, but not their physical body. Because, like I said, that'd be weird. So I really hope it's not that. I hope it's like something else, because it does look creepishly like Ash to a point. And if it comes down to Pokemon Fusion, I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to take that. That's an odd route for Pokemon to take. But we do confirm that Noibat is evolved into Noivern. I'm going to go ahead and shift gears for a second, because like I said, I don't know about that fast. There needs to be an episode that makes sense to Noibat evolving into Noivern, because as of right now, it only knows Supersonic. It needs to learn, it needs to be confirmed to have more moves. Ash needs to use it in a battle, something. I'm a little upset that we don't see our other heroes like Clement and Serena and the others with more Pokemon. That's one thing I'm a little upset about. I'm a little upset that we don't see our heroes other than Ash and Alain confirmed to have some. Well, other than Ash confirmed to have some new Pokemon. The confirmation of Noibat and Greninja is good though, because we do get confirmation that those two Pokemon on Ash's team are gonna evolve. And I gotta say, Ash's team is powerful as all hell now. And I love that they put everybody. Talonflame's in the back. Like, Talonflame matters. I'm glad that Talonflame matters. So, yeah, look, Ash has got Pikachu, he's got Talonflame, he's got Noivern, he's got Greninja, he's got Hawlucha. He just needs that sixth Pokemon on his team, and he's gonna be freaking, his team is already legendary as far as I'm concerned. Think about it, all of his Pokemon, with the exception of Pikachu and Hawlucha, obviously, because Hawlucha doesn't have an evolution, and Pikachu doesn't want to evolve, all of his Pokemon, other than that, are fully evolved. Noivern, Greninja, and Talonflame, they're fully evolved. So he already has a good team going for him, and those are three of the most powerful Pokemon in the Kalos region anyway. All three of those Pokemon in themselves are pretty freaking powerful. So, shit, he's already on top of things, and he had Goodra. So with that all being said, let's focus on the Z real fast and what it means. The Z obviously is going to stand for, Zygarde and all of that. I'm hoping that AZ shows up in this series as well, only because, I don't know, I just feel like it would make more sense. His name is AZ and Z fits in the title. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. From what we see though, it's mostly going to stand for Zygarde, and Zygarde's going to be the legendary Pokemon that's tackled. I'm guessing that's why Zygarde hasn't made any important appearances until now. And then even in the games, Zygarde's in the game, but he doesn't become a focus at all until now. And that's what's been going on. They've done that before, like in Best Wishes. Zekrom and Reshiram were focused. Kyurem wasn't focused until the movie though. So I gotta say it's really interesting that the legendary Zygarde is gonna be actually in the anime rather than in the movie to show him off. Now, with that said, let's segue on into Zygarde himself. Now, with Zygarde, we've got another CoroCoro scan here that confirms what exactly is going on with Bob the Blobber, Zygarde, that big giant Zygarde we saw a long time ago. Our confirmations were pretty much correct. It was Zygarde in his alternate form, but now we've got more detail about it. It looks like a mecha, if you ask me. It looks like a giant mecha. But here's our situation, and here's what we're getting to. From what we see, Zygarde has forms that take up a percent of its body. The cell form, I'm guessing, is 1%. There's a bunch of them, and they all form up to make the cell form is the core of each form, and they all form up to make different forms. So the first one's called the cell form, obviously, and it's only 1%. Zygarde's normal form, the serpent form, the one that isn't that powerful when you compare it to Xerneas and Yveltal, is it's 50% form, so it's not even at full power yet. Yeah. And then we've got the dog form, which I'm guessing is going to be about as strong as your regular everyday Pokemon. Probably about a fully evolved Pokemon, or to the very least about as powerful as a Pokemon that doesn't have an evolution, but is still considered very powerful. I say this because it's its 10% form, which means it's not as strong as its 50% form, but it still uses this form to roam about, the living world. It's 10%, it's the dog form. Then we've got the giant elephant in the room. Or should I say the giant Zygarde in the room. This form is his perfect form. His 100%, oh my god, freaking giant mecha form. This form is huge, it's his perfect, it's his hyper huge big form. Now, with that said, I'm guessing that Lysander's plan or Lysandre, or however you want to pronounce him. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments about it, and if you do, I thank you and I apologize for botching his name. It's just his name's weird. Anyway, Team Flare is going to try to capture Zygarde, and they're probably going to try to gather, like, put it in danger to the point where it needs to gather up all of the Zygarde cells to make perfect form. And I'm guessing here that the perfect form needs all of the Zygarde cells in order to be complete. Because of that, once they do that and finally get them all the pieces together, they're going to try to take him over and use his power to wipe out the Kalos region and yada yada yada. Because of this, however, I believe that this will be the thing that brings both our heroes together, both groups of heroes together, because Malin already deals with the Zygarde blobs as we see in the trailer. And our heroes end up dealing with them because Bonnie ends up dealing with the Zygarde blob as well, which means it'll bring the Zygarde blobs together because obviously perfect Zygarde can't exist unless all the Zygarde cells are together. That's my theory. So with that said, I'm sure our heroes are going to come together in this fashion because of that. Now, with that all being said, that just goes to have us see what happens in Mega Evolution Act 4, which is confirmed to show up on October 29th. Which means I believe, at the rate we're going, I believe we're going to be having a few delayed weeks of Pokemon. Only because, like, from the episode guide we see here, we don't have long until Mega Evolution Act 4, but the Zygarde stuff happens at the end of next month. Literally right before Halloween, I believe, which means, it's almost around right before Halloween, which means that we're probably going to get a couple of week delays, or at least I believe we're going to have a couple of week delays based on like what I'm looking at right now. Until we get Mega Evolution Act 4. Once we get Mega Evolution Act 4, we'll finally get Pokemon X, Y, and Z. Now, the thought of a new series, they've done this before. I'm actually really excited to see it, and I believe we won't get an opening change until then. I know it's quite a while till we have a new opening change, but if we have a new opening change right now, I don't think it'll make sense because then we'll have an XY opening, new opening for X and Y, and then we're going to have a new opening for XYZ. It just doesn't feel right. I'm sure we're not getting a new opening until October 29th. Yeah, so because it says it's to come with Mega Evolution Act 4. So with that all being said, that's when we'll finally get. Now, one thing to really, really pay attention to when looking at the Zygarde's CoroCoro scans, I actually want to look at the top of the, if you all want to take a look at the top, it's really hard to see. You might want to like full screen this picture or do whatever, but if you look at the top, you'll see that there's a bunch of images, and what these images of, I'm guessing, are clips of the episodes that are to go down. And as you can see, you can actually see the other Team Flare admin. Well, you can see one other Team Flare admin up there, as well as several pictures of Zygarde in various different forms, which means this confirms without a doubt that Team Flare will be involved. They just have waited this long in order to make an appearance. And I honestly gotta say, this is the best they've ever done a climactic part of a saga. Whenever they introduce an evil organization to Pokemon, it's usually the most climactic moment in the anime. So, if you were to ask me, I think Diamond and Pearl, even though like it's weird because I say it's my least favorite series, but I still believe that Diamond and Pearl had the best. Diamond and Pearl had the best evil organization climax of all of them. Best Wishes got an unfair deal because their climactic stuff with Team Plasma got canceled, more or less, and then they had to redo that stuff again during the whole N arc. So they actually had two giant climactic battles planned, but only one of them came to fruition. Anyway, I gotta say this is the most hyped anticipation we have for, a climactic battle between Team Flare. One, Team Flare hasn't even shown up yet, which brings a lot of anticipation. Well, now, we could theorize that the Malamar stuff has something to do with it, and maybe it will. Maybe it was foreshadowing for them. But from what I see, the Malamar stuff and the Team Flare stuff, the more I look into it, the more it seems unrelated. However, they could pull a Diamond and Pearl and make Hunter, like how Hunter J isn't a part of Team Galactic, but she wound up being a part of Team Galactic because she was following orders so she can get money. This could wind up being the same type of scenario where the Malamar crew ends up working with Team Flare as a way to, gather Pokemon or something. But bottom line, something big's about to go down. Like I said, the Diamond and Pearl climactic battle was so cool only because, so many people were involved. Ash, Dawn, Brock, Gary, Professor Rowan, Cynthia, Looker, Team Galactic, Hunter J. All of them were involved in the Sinnoh crisis. Like I said, Best Wishes got an unfair deal based on what happened, but other than that, their climactic battle that had to do with Ann and Team Plasma and Jedis did come full circle. So with this has been the most hype and anticipation climactic battle only because our anticipation for it has come into the form of another series. Mega Evolution Act 1 through 4 are giant foreshadowing episodes that lead into one big climactic battle. And everything that Ash and the others have been doing has been leading up to this point as well. So to see these two series progress so much and then finally come together in this huge climactic battle, it's like watching the biggest crossover in Pokemon anime history where they both deal with the same crisis and leads to a giant battle in which I believe is going to shake the very fathom of the franchise. Just to see all of this go down and to see all of it come full circle is going to be really interesting. I am really interested to see how everyone deals with this current situation. Like, what does this have to do with Ash? What does it have to do with Serena, Bonnie, Clement? What does this have to do with Alain? What was the giant mega stone in the air that Kyogre and Groudon were fighting about that Rayquaza ended up getting released about in the Mega Evolution Acts? What does Zygarde have anything to do with this? And it's also very interesting that one wing of Zygarde is red and the other one is blue. I'm guessing that's supposed to represent Xerneas and Evital, so they may even get involved in all of this. He may require all of the blobs plus plus Evital and Xerneas. It's just everything leading up to this point is going to be big. October to November, October and all of that is going to be the biggest moments in Pokemon history. Not just in this not just in the anime, just as a whole. And I'm really amped up to see what's going on. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen and how this is going to affect the video games. I heard that on Tuesday we're supposed to get video game information, but from what I say, this was a really big payoff. I can see why KG and everyone else did so many predictions and reactions and stuff based on every little thing that came out, is because this is going to get big, guys. This is going to be bigger than anything I've seen in Pokemon history. All that depends on now is how they handle it. How will all of this information transfer to the anime, and will it transfer well? That's the main question I have on my lips. But from what I see, everything looks great. The anticipation is just making me shake because it's going to go down soon. And when it does, you all better be ready because I'm going to be doing reviews, obviously. KG and Dean are going to be doing reviews. And I'm sure you're going to be all getting commentary on these episodes because this is going to be a really great saga in Pokemon X and Y. So, yeah, I got to say. But I think since we're running out of time, I'm going to go ahead and say my last brief thoughts. Really looking forward to this new series. Well, it's not really a new series, but like an expansion to the X and Y series. Can't wait to review it. Can't wait for the anticipation. Can't wait for the hype. Oh, so much stuff to look forward to. I really hope that Greninja doesn't fuse with Ash. That'd be so weird. But with that all said, everyone, I'll see you all then, everybody. Tyrone the God 3 out. Hype train, let's go.